Hey guys, this is Elliot Reed, osteopath and personal trainer at the Revitalised Health and Fitness Clinic. And today's video is going to be about the biceps tendon and how you know when it's the cause of your shoulder pain. Now, if we first look at the anatomy of the biceps brachii muscle, we can take it from there. Okay, so we have the short head of the two heads. This attaches to the coracoid process, which is the scapula, feeds down into the short head of the biceps, the medial belly. Then we have the long head attached into the supraglenoid tubercle, which is basically just the top of the shoulder. Travels between the two tubercles, which are bony processes of the humerus, under a transverse ligament, then goes into the lateral belly, then feeds into the fascia surrounding the ulna and the radius on the radial tubercle. The biceps muscle actually has two main functions. One is to support the rotator cuff in compressing the head of the humerus, so the head of this joint, into the shoulder for added stability, and the other is, as we know, is to flex the shoulder joint and supinate the radiohumeral joint, right? So a little bit less complex now. We'll look at the two occasions when the biceps tendon can become inflamed. One, which is pretty common with desk-bound workers, is when their shoulders are rolling forward a lot. This can change shoulder mechanics. The other supporting muscles of the shoulder begin to become less active. Biceps might take a bit of a main role. So if you can imagine the biceps tendon travelling here, I roll my shoulder in, the humerus pops forward, or the head of the humerus pops forward, and it can actually put a little bit more strain on that tendon. So typically you might see the person with a standing posture like this, so shoulder rolled forward with the shoulder in an extended position, which puts strain across the front of the biceps tendon, or the front of the shoulder, and strains the long head of the biceps tendon. Second, which has some commonalities between what I just said, is when you see someone doing a workout which is pretty front heavy, so pretty anteriorly heavy, which might be doing, so they might be doing sitting shoulder presses, a lot of fly work. The reason why flies can be aggravative of the long head of the biceps tendon is because you're externally rotating the shoulder and you're horizontally flexing from this position. So if you imagine that tendon running in this groove, it's going to put a lot of strain through that area, right? Then you might have a look at the way someone benches, and typically people with quite a narrow grip on the bar are going to be recruiting more extension, like we said, putting a little bit of strain through that biceps tendon, and then having to go from quite an extreme position there to through, rather than flaring their elbows a little bit to about 45 degrees from this side and pushing from there, recruiting the pecs. So they're going from extreme extension to flexion and front heavy workout, which can aggravate the long head of the biceps tendon. Typical symptoms would be tenderness around the anterior part of the shoulder, especially when the arm is held in this position, and you'll feel a kind of flicky vertical strip of tissue, which is the biceps tendon. If you flick over that and that's the source of your pain, then it may be the biceps tendon. However, it can be confused or misdiagnosed with the supraspinatus tendon as well, which is one of the rotator cuff muscles. What I typically do with to rehab the biceps tendon is offload it, and you can do this by changing the person's daily regime, changing their workout, enabling the shoulder via treatment to sit in a far more comfortable position, and then you can work from there with rehab to make sure that all the adaptations that you're making to the function of that person's shoulder is being maintained through their lifestyle, through their training, through their habits, their everyday habits, etc. So I hope this clears up when you know your biceps tendon is inflamed. If you have any questions, then just email me at info@revitalisedclinic.co.uk, contact us via Twitter or Facebook. So Hope you enjoyed this video today. My name is Elliot from the Revitalised Health and Fitness Clinic, where you find health and attain fitness.